Do you have a particular problem with the media, with us journalists? I said this because it seems there has been a misunderstanding, I don't know, with the national media, not the international media, some of which have ended up in the trash lately. That's a fact. There are no national media. It seems there was a misunderstanding at the beginning and that I am like a fog that is just there. How do you analyze the situation, Mr. President?
You know I'm not a hypocrite. There was a misunderstanding. There was some confusion at the start. But today I must say that I commend many media outlets for their professional work. We must avoid following the work of imperialism. Of course, many among you were trained by them. That's it. You went to the white man's school. They are the ones who trained you in journalism. So I don't often blame you when people try to behave like them. But I speak so that people become aware that this is about our homeland. Look this morning, for example, at the newspaper editorials in France. They might tell you that there is a mobilization to put pressure on the Prime Minister. They won't tell you that there is a march against the government or something like that. But if it were in Bukina, you would say that there is a march against the government. Do you understand? The French used to call us, and they still call us pusicious, these people. It's French. But the journalists also used to call us that for these people here. Why follow blindly? It's still slavery. Me, I want us to leave those people behind. Every institution fights for its own interests. Journalists fight for their own interests. So why shouldn't we fight for our own interests in Africa? So that's it. It's not just the journalists. I also blame certain intellectuals who appear on these Telan Afrikosiek talk shows. When they speak, you ask yourself questions. But are they really Africans? Genetically, they don't speak with us. That's a reality. We need to decolonize our mindsets and our ways of doing things. Everyone must fight for their homeland. You might have information that is perhaps true and accurate. You decide not to release that information, because it could harm national defense, security, cohesion, and so on. That is a sovereign decision, because you want to protect your country. But we're not saying that as soon as there's information, it has to be released. No, that's not how it works. And very often, as we like to say, journalists aren't interested in trains that arrive on time. It's the trains that arrive on time. You know it, Mr.
President, so you understand our waiting times.
Yes, but that should be avoided. Now, I want you interested in trains that arrive on time.
All right. I'd like to leave you with a phrase that is the motto of a great European club. Is this one: our jersey may be stained with blood, mud, and sweat, but never with shame. That's all I wish for you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Thank you greatly.
We will now move on to the political and social section of this interview. And for that, we welcome Mathieu Somedat from Radio Bukina and Colette Kambari from Impact TV. Good evening, dear colleagues. You also have 20 minutes to engage in a discussion with the head of state on the topic of politics and society.
Excellent, Mr. President. September 30th, 2022, September 30th, 2025, soon 3 years of managing state power. What is your interim assessment in terms of implementing your vision and political direction through the progressive and propelled revolution?
It must be said that we took over the country with a certain situation in terms of security, but also with a different situation economically and politically. We realized after careful and thorough consideration that there were actually many, many reforms to be made. So many, in fact, that we couldn't possibly list them all at once, even if we tried. So as a result, we developed and adopted an ideology, a guiding set of principles that we began to implement gradually and systematically, the revolution, up until last April, when it was officially and formally proclaimed to everyone. And when we talk about revolutions, it means revolutionizing every aspect of our lives, because we can't keep doing the same things as before and expect different results. If we were just continuing as before, I think it would be better to let the politicians keep negotiating, but we wanted to break away from that. And breaking away requires a lot of commitment. Thank God the people have understood, people have realized that a break was necessary. Whether it's in terms of behavior and practices, in terms of governance, in terms of the economy, trade, and everything that goes along with it. And every day, I can tell you that we keep discovering more, because the system that was in place, and I like to use a caricature to say it's like a big knot we found. When you untie one, another appears. So there were many problems in our society that we are currently working to solve. And thank God I can say that many things have been initiated, and the results, for me in any case, it's satisfying, even though I think we can still make more effort. That's it. And if you wish, you can ask me questions domain by domain, because there are many things that have been started.
Excellent. The revolution for progressives. There have certainly been explanations, but words that haven't really helped us understand more. What exactly is the content of this revolution?
The exact content, as I said once before, I won't say it. If you let everyone know the details of what you want to do, people can anticipate your actions. But we have some key points, that's it, the main points so that people can understand where we're heading. So if you notice, even in the governance model itself, the fight against corruption and good governance, it starts with the example that the government must set. As I said, you can't be there, a certain category of Burkinabe, just because you've been entrusted with positions. For you, it's about choosing between fine whiskies and good champagne. While women are dying going to fetch water from the river, drowning for something, it's just not acceptable. So there is this mindset that we need to have in order to build a just society. Everyone should be able to have access, for example, to clean drinking water. You can't just eat whatever you want, choosing your meals, throwing away whatever you like in the trash, while others can't even have a single meal. That's what led us to launch initiatives in agriculture, for example, because the majority of our population works in agriculture. But for a long time, we realized that they are in deficit. It's not that our farmers are poor, it's not that they lack the ability to work. But they also needed that boost, which is what led us to create these initiatives. Today, I think what's most important for me is that when you go into the countryside and ask the farmers questions, they can honestly tell you that now they feel good about it. He farms, he has enough to feed himself, and the surplus he usually sells to the storage facility, which pays him and creates a security stockpile. And when, in certain areas or during certain periods, there are problems, they take it out and sell it at a well-subsidized price, making it accessible to everyone. So, that's very important. The ideology of revolutionizing a number of sectors, when you look at the area of public finances, for example, we're in the process of digitizing many aspects, though it's very challenging because people don't like it. Soon, for example, we're going to launch electronic invoicing. Already, when we introduced the idea, many major operators were opposed to it. Why don't they want transparency? Because people have gotten used to cheating, to stealing. It's like a norm. That's what has been established, so all of that needs to change. When it comes to
the wait is finally over, and fire of revival is set to fall. The 30 days divine turnaround prayer march has reached its climax. We have travailed and we have prayed, and we have also fasted. Now, the heavens are open.
Infrastructure and many other things, the area of public contracts and everything related to it is actually the most corrupt sector. There you go, you're an entrepreneur, you come to see us, we give you the contract, you overcharge, and then we split something under the table. That's the golden rule. So when someone even comes with a different idea, you're automatically excluded, you're not allowed in. And if we let things continue like this, I don't think we'll ever get out of it. We wouldn't be able to pay for weapons because, as I said, if you don't achieve economies of scale, you can't equip yourself. You won't find a single bank in the world where you can go and get a loan to buy weapons. That doesn't exist. It's only with your own funds that you can equip yourself. In any case, we never had that opportunity. Here, maybe we have someone, we're interested. And everything we're acquiring, as I told you once about the amount, it's in the billions of dollars. How do we do it? Where did we get the money from? That money was there. It was necessary to clean up the financial sector, trade, and everything that goes with it. And the operation of our state-owned companies, you may have noticed this year, the 2024 results are beyond expectations. 2025 is even better than 2024. I'll take the hydrocarbon sector, where as early as 2023, we made tremendous progress. Before, it was state subsidies. That means we were still collecting taxes to subsidize the company, to pay the extra costs, to cover the shortfall and all that. But now the company is no longer in that situation. We have cleared all the company's debts, and now it's starting to make profits. It was because there was corruption in the sector. So there are so many situations, I can't list them all.